honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing. Hi, I'm Bitsy. I got tired of gaming content, kinda. So I'm doing woodworking, mostly because I want to make a new gaming desk for me. So I went out and got a couple of pallets, and I cut them down. I've got some boards here. I've got a shitload of boards over here. These are a little bit small blocks. I've got more boards. But mostly I am going to try and glue them up into like bigger boards. And first thing I'm going to do is a nightstand, i.e. the video, making a nightstand out of pallets. One of the main things I'm trying to do with this nightstand is put a little hidey slide in the side of it so that I can keep my firearm in there next to my bed. So yeah, I'm gonna work on trying to get all these boards squared up and then hopefully glue them up. I've got table saw, planer, and I just got this router kit. Brand new. Don't know what I'm doing. I have orbital sanders, and I have stuff. We're gonna get into this. Just trying to figure out what size I want to make most of these. This thing only goes up to a foot. I think most of these I can do down to a foot. I don't think any of them are too small to do that. Let's go a little bit further if I can, just so I can have a straight-ish edge. Hey, I just want to jump in here and say I understand the videos are extremely long. This one and part 2 are going to be extremely long. But if you guys watch all the way through both of them, I will greatly appreciate it. And there is a special surprise at the end of the second video. That should be square. Always gotta make sure your cuts are square. Mine definitely wasn't. It's taken me like a month to get back to editing this. So for all the quiet parts that don't have any audio, I'm just gonna throw music on it. And I hope you guys enjoy the video. Okay. Wear your safety goggles when you're doing anything woodworking, of course. General rule. So, I'm gonna clean that off. And I don't have any proper, like, wax to put on there. So I have a candle. It's the best I got. So I'm gonna set you down and we're gonna go do this. Do I know this isn't the best idea? Yes. Is this the best I've got? Yes, because I'm broke as shit right now. Is this also probably a bad idea? Most likely. And if you've seen some of my other content, I am a skateboarder. We use whatever we can. Yeah, that works pretty well. So let's switch into a time lapse. I'll finish cutting these up to 12 inches and we'll square up the long sides, and then we might plane them. We'll play it by ear from there. Yes, that did just happen, that bit, and slung it right into my chest. I'm gonna be standing off to the side from now on and turning it off whenever I need to get rid of the wood there. Let's continue. So that last one, I should have stopped because I saw that coming. It was just falling into the zero channel right there. And that's why when I pushed the board in, it just ate it right up. Now we're gonna try that joining stuff I've seen. I'm pretty sure it's 731 Studios. I'll find the link for it and throw it down in the description for you. He does like 5 ways to do a joiner without a joiner. So we're gonna give one of those ways a shot. I need a push handle, so I'm gonna try and make one out of a scrap piece of something. Hopefully it'll be long enough. Ain't gonna be ergonomic, but I don't like that. So yeah, I'm gonna make that real quick. Now this ain't no professional piece of whatever. Okay, so I'm running low on battery. I'm gonna go throw this inside to charge, and I'm gonna finish up the rest of these boards, and then this is actually doing a damn good job of joining. Okay, so we're on my phone right now because my GoPro I was using earlier died on me. Oh well. Next thing we're doing is we're grabbing that planer. I got both edges on this jointed. I was gonna glue these up like this, but I thought about it and I don't need a 3-inch fucking top for a nightstand. So once I get these planed down, I'm gonna cut them in half. When I rip them all in half, I have exactly 1.5-inch boards. And I can double the amount of top I have. Okay, so I've still got all of those to do. I only got this far. They are looking beautiful. Some of these I wish I had, like that one. Oh, that looks beautiful. But I've still got this many to go. It is getting cold. I want to get this done. At least maybe I can glue it up tomorrow. Okay, so it's the next day. Actually, I am cold. Give me 1 second. Sit. I'm kicking shit. It's a little bit colder today. It's like 34 degrees out. Some of you might say that's not even that cold, but still. It was like 45 yesterday. I did not finish planing all the boards. I got these and those to do. I did get all of these done. I think I showed some of these. Some of these look just sick. But we're gonna throw this on a time lapse. done with that. There was a few boards I had to throw in the scrap. They just, like, I got shit light here. This one got snapped because of that nasty knot. This one just kept getting ripped apart. And I think it's because of the knot here. So I just got rid of those two. Just use them for scrap pieces for something else. Maybe that might work. My little scrap pile on the concrete, which is, everybody's gonna yell at me at, but this is what I'm working with. This is just my shed. I ain't got much. Oh, I could barely put that away. That is supposed to be up there. There. And I'm gonna have to keep it down. I gotta figure out where to put this. Although I've gotta move that that way. Move that that way. Move that. I'm hoping to put it under there. So yeah, I'm gonna get this shit moved around. And then we'll cut these in half. I mean, I'll still have... God, let me measure. I need a measuring tool. About 8.5, 8.25 for that pile. Yeah. About another 8.5, so damn near even between the two. So I'm gonna move this over here so I can cut these in half, because that only gives me 16 inches by 12. But I'm making a nightstand and I don't need a 3-inch thick slab for a nightstand. So I'm gonna cut them all in half, and then that'll give me 32 inches to be able to glue up. So let me move these around. Next thing I need to do is run to Lowe's, I guess, because I can't glue this up until I run to Lowe's. So, yeah, that's next on the agenda. We'll be back once I get back from Lowe's with a clamp. Well, I'm back. I've got the 2 pipe clamps. I got the second one of these. I need to pull that tag off. But we're gonna get started on the gluing up the top. I still haven't figured out what I'm gonna do about a base yet, but I did figure something out for my holster holder thingy, or like hidden holster. I don't know, I looked blurry, probably was, but yeah, we're gonna start the glue up. I'm gonna get all those glued up over here. I gotta go back in my house and grab my glue. But we'll at least get that started, and then I can work on making some sort of jig thing so that I can easily make my holster holder thing. I am not lit up. No, I'm lit up. But yeah, that's where we're gonna go. Let's get this glued up. I got the glue up started. I'm gonna let this sit, and then I'm only doing like half and half. Cross your fingers, hope this works. There's a lot of gaps. I hope it works. But yeah, we'll be back when I do the next one, after I'm done with the next one. Okay, it's the next day, and we're gonna pull these out. Some of them I know are not gonna be great. I think it'll look good. You have to sand these down, square it up a little bit, and the plan goes over there. The plan is to put them against each other like that, if I can. One's definitely bigger than the other. I probably could have moved one. I thought I had it about even. Apparently not. It's gonna be smaller. It'll still be a nice nightstand though. So let me get on to sanding these. I have a lot of work to do because some of this stuff's not coming up. A lot of it's not even. I tried to make it as even as I could, but that's also why I left it at 1.5 inches, because I wanted it to at least be 1 inch, if not 3/4 of an inch. Yeah. Getting stuck on parts, just running my fingernail across. So I'm gonna have to plane these, but first thing I need to do is make a sled / jig so that I can make sure they are perfectly level, perfectly square, everything. And I've also got to cut the edges off anyhow. Cut these off because they're a little bowed. So yeah. Let's turn around so that the light is coming this way. Let's get the table saw out and we'll make that sled first, and then we'll square those up. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is not this side because it's got that knot that just entirely sucks. You use that side. Table saw set to 12 inches. I'm gonna cut a 12-inch sled, and then off of that I might cut 1 inch lip to put on the edge of it so that I can send it through the planer, use little shims underneath the boards, and make sure that it's perfectly flat going through the planer. and that'll be able to give me a flat profile on one side, and then I can just flip it over and use that flat profile as the bottom to get the other side. So yeah, this is all it is, just in a gist. You've got a lip here so that when you send it through and the rollers are pushing it, it doesn't like push it off the flat surface. And then you just lay your piece on here and shove shims under it so that it's perfectly even. So now time to get the planer out and plane them. I'm pointing behind the camera. Plane. I suck at this camera shit. But yeah, let's get the planer out and... Well, no, I need to square these first. Or should I plane them first? I'll plane them first. Better light. I'll plane them first and then we'll square them up. So, gotta mix up in the plans. I'm working on the sled, but I don't have screws small enough for the lip. So I grabbed my glue, I'm gluing it up now, and I've got to wait for that to dry before I can continue on with the planing. So I guess we're going to square these up instead and hope it works. Okay, so at the end of that last clip, apparently I blew the breaker on my shed here, and that's why the saw stopped, the shop vac stopped, everything stopped. All the lights, everything went out. So I had to run inside, pop the breaker, and instead of just continuing, I just cut them down. They're damn near even. I'm still gonna lose a little bit more size because cutting them square with each other once I get them glued up. And yeah, I got that made. So I guess it's time to plane them flat. Hopefully I can keep them thick enough. Yay! But yeah, let me set up the planer over here so that it's blowing out that way. And that little mess up with the, which I still got fixed because it clogged again. I got both of these flattened down. This one's perfectly flat. The reason I had to go back over this is dragging my fingernail across, plus one of the sides ripped out. Probably saw that. Fingernail test. You can see I've got a bunch of gaps in here. Like right there. I'll try and fix that with some wood glue. After I glue them together, maybe I'll put like the finishing coat and just, I don't know. It's my first project. It should be fine. But I'm gonna call that here for the day. I gotta go do other things, and then I think starting tomorrow, I'll probably do this off camera. All of those boards, I need to run them through the planer so that I can have this type of siding for the sides of it, and I'm just going to use plywood for the bottom and the back of it. So yeah, I might do that just real quick, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow with whatever I've figured out for this. Plus my sled broke, so that was unfortunate. I did figure out what kind of base I want to do. It's going to be like a barn style base. I'm going to glue up... I can't fucking point with this thing. I'm going to glue some of these up and make like little slats to put up in like a square space on the sides, and then small ones for the base on the bottom. Just two, one for the front, one for the back. And I'm just going to use some plywood for the bottom, fill in the sides and the back. So let's pick out some wood, get it planed up, get it glued up, and hopefully get a lot of this fixed up for tomorrow. Maybe I can get the tabletop glued up. I don't know. I need to figure out what width I want it at. I was thinking an inch, so I need the planer. Okay, so I cut all of these boards into 2-inch slats. That's everything I had left over that was like salvageable. My hair's ugly. And yes, I'm wearing these. I keep forgetting my glasses, my safety glasses that I've been wearing previously in this video. They're the ones I use at the range. These are from the military, from my time in the military, and there's not going to be anything getting in anyhow, so I think these will be better for me for doing stuff like this, because I already scratched my eye once doing a woodworking project, and that was not fun. So wear your safety glasses. It's not fun to scratch your eye. I'm gonna plane all of these up, that way I just have them done and ready. And yeah, let's get on to a time lapse of this. I just said screw it and did all of my boards. That way I could just pick the few that I need, glue them up, and have the rest just ready to go for the next project, which that is going to be told at the end of this video. But now we gotta pick out a couple of boards. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do this yet. Okay, so I've got my boards figured out. Upright, these are going to be the upright legs, like the grains on these. And I realized I can just take one of these and use it for the sideways. And these are going to be my bottom legs. I'm only making two. I am going to make a little bit of a jointing jig, a new one. That should be a little bit easier to joint with. Hopefully. Okay, so this is another jig I saw on that 731 woodworking video, which will be linked down below. that worked incredibly well. All these edges are nice and square. Wish I had a better square. But next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna figure out if I can glue all of these up at the same time on these clamps plus my pipe clamps, plus maybe some of those, and I've got those too. Bit of a pain in the ass, but I got it all glued up, clamped the shit. I got glue all over me. It is getting dark out, so I'm glad I got that figured out now, and or at least done by now. Shitload of glue. But we'll see in the morning whether or not that tape works. Paper, the wax paper, worked at separating it. So yeah. Okay, it's the next day, and we're gonna unclamp all of these, and hopefully it all worked out. Set you down. Probably glued this. I think this is also a top bottom. Oh. So far, it's working out perfect. Yep, perfect. Now these are going to lose a little bit of size because got to scrape off some of this, scrape off this glue. But, and I got to plane them again, joint them. Use that jointing jig I made. But this worked perfectly. You might hear a quad in the background. That's my back neighbor. Her kid's riding around on the quad. But I'm gonna set up my table saw, joint these back up again after I scrape the glue off, and yeah, let me get that all set up. Okay, so I took my scraper. I would not suggest, honestly, getting a carbide scraper because it does mar the wood pretty good. But since I'm joining it anyhow, I'm not too worried about it. But I'm gonna cut some of cut them all to like same size, even, and then I'll set up the jointing jig and we'll go from there. I'll joint that up. And then figure out how I want to put that together. I haven't exactly figured that out yet. So let me set this up and into a bit of an issue with where the clamp was too much for the height of this. So I'm upgrading this. Gonna make a just I made a mistake. Okay, let me cut this back out again. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a strip on the back side. Just use two pieces here and screw them through, and that should give me a nice square jointer that I can use. So let me cut this piece again. Okay, so I got it, screwed it in. It only fits in that one way. Slide right in, won't move at all, just slides right over. Perfect. And maybe a little adjusting. Now we're ready to joint those up. Let's get to it. Okay, these are all nice and square, which should be perfect. Now just got to get the table square. So we're gonna run that through this, and I hope it works out great. We'll see. This, I love this. This is so nice. Hell of a time getting these squared up, and for a second there I thought I messed this up, but I think I got it figured out. I'm gonna have to, I don't know how I want to join these together. I could use a regular dado, or I'm not sure. What I need to do, go here. You are not gonna like that angle, so that there. What I need to do is so it's like 2-3 days later. It is way too cold to be doing any gluing, but I am going to at least try and dry fit and router in or cut in some joints. I don't want to use any screws for this project, even though I've never done joinery and stuff like that before. So initially I was going to draw a bunch of lines for it and then do that by hand. I said screw that, so I glued a little 3/4 by 3/4 block. It's going to cut a little bit more off of my size. Maybe. No, it shouldn't. But either way, I'm doing 3/4 by 3/4 inch, which should give me plenty of glue connection, plenty of glue for it to actually hold. So let's get on to that, and I hope this works. Okay, so I made a mistake when I made my little jig, so we're just gonna fucking wing it and see how it goes. We'll continue on from there. Some of these are gonna need like fixed so that they're like even. But I'll just take the chisel down it and should be fine. So something unfortunate happened, and this split. I mean, it's the first time I've ever done a glue up like this, so I'm not too surprised at that. But I'm gonna have to glue these back up along with this together. I've got to make a little shim for right there. Actually, that one right there. So yeah, I'm gonna work on that shim real quick. Hopefully I can get it the right size. And then I'm gonna try and start on the base, because I have to have the tabletop done before I can do the base completely. This project's taking longer than I thought it would. So let's hope this works. Saw me douse the top with glue. Well, when I was smacking it together right here, it came apart again. I guess I did not have a good enough glue up on this side. So I'm gonna set this off to the side and try and work on the base a little bit and then go from there. I hope this works. I had to loosen the length clamps up so that I could get this board just right so that it stays mostly flat. I'm hoping I don't have to have too big of an issue doing like making another jig for my router to level it. I hope so. But let's get on to the base. I've got to cut out some plywood. I've got to figure out how big a plywood I need based on this. So I might just give this a few hours, maybe come back to it tomorrow. Actually, maybe not, because I'm going on a trip this weekend, so this is not getting done by the first of the year. Oh well. I tried. But I am hoping to get some of the editing done while I'm on my trip for Christmas. So hopefully I'll at least be mostly done with editing by the time I get back. I know I'm gonna have so much more footage, but at least for now, we're gonna wait on this. I'm gonna see what I can do about the base and stuff, and we'll go from there. If not, I'm working on another project that I'm still trying to get perfected, and then yeah, hopefully I'll have this done soon. Or thank you guys for reaching this far. I'll see you guys next week with part 2.